Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gauri Bhakta Vrinda, Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta, Nisha Nisha Vatarakan, Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti, Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam, Granthira Arambha Kori, Mangala Charana, Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan, Tinira Smarana Hoya Vigana Vinashana. Anayasa Safal Nija Vanchita Purana Jaya Jaya Kripa Moy Jagatiranath Sarva Jagatira Kuru Shubha Drishtipad Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaham Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna, thank you so much for your kind association today in the reading of Chaitanya Caritāmṛta by Śrī Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. We have read till text number 126. 126, right?
125 we stop, Prabhuji, discussing the conversation.
Okay. 125 we stop. Okay, so we'll go from
126 actually.
Okay, so we'll read from 127 today. This is again, we are talking about the Śrī Radhaya Pranaya Mahima. You remember? We're talking about the zenith or the peak, the topmost height of Śrī Radha's love. We cannot fathom the Pranaya Mahima. We cannot fathom, but still trying to understand that we cannot understand. The last verse was that it is 10 million times more. Krishna is saying that the pleasure I get from tasting my love for Radharani, she tastes 10 million times more than me by her love. So, and Krishna also wants to experience, that was one of the reasons too. Ami ache paraspara viruddha dharmashraya Radha prema taiche sada viruddha dharma maya. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Just as I am the abode of all mutually contradictory characteristics, so Radha's love is always full of similar contradictions. Can anyone tell any mutually contradictory characteristics of the Supreme Lord? Anyone?
So Krishna teaching us in Gita to tell the truth, but he himself in the word field telling, encouraging to tell lies. So,
That's a nice example. Damodar month just passed, right? We discussed this example. Fear personifies fierce Krishna. But Krishna, Yashoda bhiyo lukha ladhava manam param rishta matyanta todrutya. Yashoda bhayo lukha ladhava manam. But the fear of Mata Yashoda, Krishna is running. Everyone runs in fear of Krishna. Right? This is again very, very mutually contradictory, isn't it? Krishna lifts the mountain, Giri Govardhan, which is so heavy, very, very heavy, like millions of pounds, trillions of pounds. But that same Krishna was trying to lift the Nanda Maharaj's paduka, the sandals, the chappal, he was having a very difficult time, showing that a little baby, trying to get that Vatsalya love, trying to exchange that Vatsalya rasa. When the child, like I'm sure parents must be feeling like this, when you see the little child trying to do some effort to please you, even though effort may be very partial, but the child is trying one's best, it gives joy to the parent, right? The child is trying his or her best to give joy to the mother or the father. So he was having a very tough time to lift it. So many such mutually contradictory. And then Jarasandha's story, Ranachor, he left the battlefield. Again, fear personifies fierce Krishna, but he ran away, right? The anger he showed in the Damodar Lila as well, right? As Prabhu mentioned about the Krodha, or the lie, Satyam Buryat, Priyam Buryat, Hitam Buryat, but over there about the Ashwatthama story. So basically, there are a lot of mutually contradictory things. So therefore, because Krishna is Teda, Tribhanga Lalita, but it is not a problem. It is in material world, if someone is like mutually contradictory, they're said to be as hypocrite, right? That you are saying one thing at one place and the other thing at other place, or you are saying one thing and doing one thing, they are called hypocrites, which is very, very bad. And it's totally opposite to simplicity. But when Krishna does that, it is Divya Lila. Janma karma chame divyam. So similarly, Radha's love is also full of contradictions. So I think the following verses are going to talk more about it. So let's dive deeper and see what are those contradictions and stuff like that. 128. Yes, Dear Prabhu, you want to read?
Sure. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Dandat Pranam, all blessed to Śrīla Prabhupada. Text number 128. Radha prema vibhu pyare badite na thani tatapi se kshane kshane badaye sadai. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Radha's love is all-pervading, leaving no room for expansion, but still it is expanding constantly. Beautiful verse, Prabhuji. So here we can see that how Radha's love is everywhere, and there is no room, but still it is expanding constantly. So the contradiction you just explained. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So beautiful. Bhakti is a world of contradictions. Or Vrindavan is the land of contradictions. That sometimes we ask, okay, how Brahma's whole night compresses into the Raslila pastime. Like we cannot understand. So one time someone asked Maharaj in the yatra that Vrindavan is like a lotus, but how they would ask, okay, how Radharani's place is so far, Krishna's place is so far, it is like miles and miles away, and how they would quickly meet. And then Maharaj said, Vrindavan is like lotus, in the day it blossoms, and the night it kind of collapses. And he said, okay, do you understand? Like, okay, I understand. We cannot understand all these transcendental pastimes. Similarly, for our intelligence, for our infinitesimal logic, intelligence, buddhi, to understand that if something, imagine if this room we are sitting in, if it is full of, let's say, something expanding, like anything like foam, let's say, and the whole room is filled with foam or sponge, then at certain point it'll say, okay, bus, there is no more room, not even a draw or cotton, even cotton, even you can put 1, 2, or like at some point it will be saturated. In material life, there is one very nice point I recently heard, that there is saturation in material life. One is saturated and not satiated. In material life, one is saturated and still not satisfied, right? How much, like talking about wealth, how much wealth? Even the millionaires are not satisfied. Even the billionaires are not satisfied when they see someone would have more wealth than a millionaire or a billionaire. There are always, people earning more or whatever business and all. And similarly, any aspect of life, if one, tries to gulp something, food, they'll get saturated, but not really satisfied. But in spiritual life, there is no saturation, right? Same mantra, devotees are chanting, relishing hours and hours. Like recently we had a 24-hour kirtan. Same mantra. It's not that the mantra changes, the words change. Same mantra, same words, no saturation. And complete satiation, completely satisfied. The heart is completely satisfied. Very nice. I like this point. Material life, saturation, but no satiation, no satisfaction. In spiritual life, no saturation, like it's ever expanding. The world, Krishna's Lila, Krishna's activities, Krishna's glories, Radharani's love here, constantly expanding, and gives great joy to everyone. So you can meditate upon that. So that's the contradiction here. 129, anyone wants to read? Mr. Kudro, want to read this one?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, down pranam, all gracious Śrīla Prabhupada. Text 128. Radha prema vibhu jar barite.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, so we're doing the 129. We just read the 128.
Oh, sure, Prabhuji. 129. Jaha boi guru bostu nahi sunishchito tathapi guru dharmo gaurava borjito. Translation by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Joy. There is certainly nothing greater than her love, but her love is devoid of pride. That is a sign of greatness. Back to Prabhuji.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you. Very, very deep. Love. Nothing is greater because it's ever increasing. If anything is greater, by the time that thing is trying to compare to Radharani's love has expanded more. So there is, even Krishna is saying, my love is 1/10,000,000th part of Radharani's love. Radharani's love is 1,000,000 times more and is constantly expanding. But the very next line is so important. Gaurava varjita. Gaurav means pride. Varjita means devoid. Anyone knows the word where varjita comes? Any verse where varjita comes? Varjita.
Varjanānkikara, Prabhuji.
Sorry?
Varjanānkikara. Not sure.
I'm not able to get. What did you say? Sorry? Angikara?
Yeah, I heard in one of the song, right? Varjanānkikara. Maybe not correct.
Not familiar with that one. Kama Krodha. What's that? Balam Balavatam Cham. Balam Balavatam. Dharma. What's that? Kama Raga Dosha Varjita. What's that verse? Yeah. Balam Balavatam Chaham. Kama Raga Vivarjita. Dharma Vruddha Bhuteshu. Amosmi Bharatarshaba. Right? That's what's that verse? Balam Balav. Balam? Who knows that verse? 7-11? Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, Prabhuji. Balam, balam. But I don't see Varjita in that, right, Prabhuji?
Okay, let's show you, Prabhu. This. Let's see.
Oh, Varjitam. Okay.
Vivarjitam.
Yeah, yeah.
Varjita. So devoid of kama and raga,
Oh,
passion and lust.
thank you.
So, Varjita. Vivarjita.
Yeah.
So devoid of pride. Gaurava Varjita. So love is not that, and love is reciprocal to service. Love means to serve. Love means to serve. Love means serve. Love means action. It's not that, oh, I love you and, oh, can you get some water for me? No, sorry, I'm too busy. So love means to serve. Love is through actions. Love is through seva. So in short, our seva should be Gaurava Varjita. It should be devoid of pride. That is the sign of greatness. That is the sign of greatness, of service, of love. Otherwise, that seva, that love is going to be a cause to go hell. I was recently hearing about one of the classes, and in the Kanchipuram, Maharaj took a yatra. That's why Maharaj took yatra in Kanchipuram. And somehow the young devotees were, well, their passion kind of pushing the old devotees to go ahead and like see the deities and get to the first darshan and all that stuff. So somehow Maharaj got to know about that what is this thing going on? We are supposed to be the servant of the servant of the servant in the spirit of humble dedication. Maharaj said, don't make this yatra a sham. S-H-A-M. Sham. Anyone knows what sham?
Shame.
Crooked.
Crooked. Shame. Yeah, shame. Quite similar to bogus, false, deceiving, good for nothing. All these are synonyms, perhaps, for sham, false, untruth. Don't make this yatra a sham. We are devotees. We are servants of sham. Don't make this yatra a sham. So when the Y is missing, the meaning changes from sham to sham. If you don't have the mood of humble service and think that I can get better, I can, it's basically pride, and that will take us to hell. So very, very heavy, very, very deep. So on another instance, someone said to Maharaj that, oh, I want to, this year we will distribute 1 lakh books. And we were like 10th place last time. If we distribute 1 lakh books or 100,000 books this year in Gita Jayanti or marathon, we will be at the top 3 spots in the whole world. We'll be at top 3. Someone was sharing with Maharaj. And that said, well, to distribute 100,000 books is very, very nice. And they said, okay, we all should pray that we all, so the devotee said that let's distribute 100,000 books and be in the top 3. Maharaj said, okay, we should pray that we distribute 100,000 books, but be the last. So that everyone else can also distribute 100,000 plus books and we become the last. This is the sign of greatness. This is the sign of Gaurava Varjita. So we can meditate. Because sometimes the seva may lead to pride. Oh, I'm a better servant. I'm a nice mridanga player. Oh, I give nice classes. Others don't give nice classes. They're not so intelligent. They can't even tell verses. They can't do that. Or someone dressing the deities, someone can say, oh, how I dress is the best. Every time the other person dresses is not so good. Or how I cook, oh, no one can cook prasad like me or offering like me. It could be anything. It could be singing, it could be in deity dressing, it could be in any service. That doesn't mean we should stop the service, right? One extreme is, okay, I don't want Baba, I want humble, I'll never do anything. So no seva, no question of pride, right? Is that a very good, I'll not give donation, I'll not do any seva, I'll just be, I'll just, maybe chant my own rounds and just be at home and so devoid of pride. Is that a good idea? I asked Shaman Prabhu this question, actually, this exact same question. You want to hear what he replied? He asked this question that, when there is risk of getting pride, then better just chant my rounds and just take it easy, just forget about everything else. He said that, he gave the example. Let's say someone cooks very good sweet rice. Someone cooks very good sweet rice. Now, they have 2 options. Either they can be proud about it, right? Oh, I'm the best sweet rice maker. No one cooks better sweet rice than me. I'm the best. I'm the hero. I'm this and that. I know the secret sauce of this, the secret ingredients. And guess what? I will just do my own sense gratification with that. That's one extreme. The other is, okay, Krishna has given me the ability to make sweet rice. He can take that ability at any given point. So until the time he has given me that ability, I will do my best by offering it to Krishna and also by sharing it with others as a humble servant if anyone is interested, because it is not mine. I'm just a nimitta matra. We were reading in the kids' class yesterday. Nimitta matra bhava-savya-sachi. I'm just a nimitta matra. I'm not the real sweet maker. I'm just a nimitta. Then the other example he gave in like a sports car race. In car race, there are 2 things which are important. One is speed, another is safety. In the race, speed is important. It's not that, okay, I'll just drive at 1 mile per hour. I'll never get an accident, right? That person will never get an accident. 1 mile per hour. But is it practical to be in a car race driving at 1 mile per hour or 10 miles per hour, let's say? The others are driving at maybe 200 miles per hour. It's a race going on. Yes. So we have to, or even normal driving, like we don't drive at 10 miles per hour on a highway. So yes, safety is important. At the same time, nice balance is required. So yes, we have to be alert. Yes, driving on the high speed, it doesn't mean that we stop driving. Accidents do happen on the royal roads. There is certainly chance of getting pride. It is there. It will come because I'm a Baddha Jiva. But I have to constantly keep meditating that I'm just a servant, I'm just a nimitta. Constantly keep hearing, reading the Guru Sadhu Shastra. Then that balance will be nurtured. So I really like that answer. And so this is the sign of greatness, that the seva or the prema should be devoid of gaurava varjita. Radharani is the parikashta of that, is the emblem. Sorry, what am I? Everything is okay. So yeah. 130. Yes, anyone? Aswati Mataji? The lotus feet of Krishna Balram. They're always at the lotus feet of Krishna Balram. It's amazing.
Dhanavad Pranam Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam everyone. Text 130. Jaha hoite sunirmol dityo nahi ar, tothapi sarboda bammo bakro ব্যবহার. Translation by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Nothing is purer than her love, but its behavior is always perverse and crooked.
Thank you, Mataji. You read the verses like a poetic nectar. Thank you. Again, we know there's so many pastimes of Radharani's man, right? Transcendental anger. So nothing is purer than her love, but her behavior is always crooked. So these are very high sentiments of pure love, which are far beyond our comprehension. In the material world, if someone's desire, generally if someone expresses anger, it is not out of love, it is out of that my desires didn't get fulfilled, or what I wanted didn't happen. And as a result, anger comes out when one's expectations are not fulfilled, or whether one's husband, wife, children, parent, or anywhere, relatives, friends, brothers, sisters. The main cause of anger is lack of is unsatisfied desires or expectations. That's the main cause. But Radharani's man is only to intensify the love. Radharani's man is only to intensify the love. Even in Jagannath Puri, there are some pastimes. But of course, Radharani's love is million times more than Lakshmi's love for Vishnu. So, anyone wants to add any thoughts or comments on this verse? Okay, so we'll read the next one. Yes. Kabir Prabhu or Devki Mataji, you want to read? Yes, please.
Vibhurapikalyana sada bibhidina Guru api gaurava chakra vihina Muhur upachita vakrimapi sutro Jayati nuragi shiradika nugaha. Translation by His Divine Grace, Shabapad Ki Jai. All glories to Radha's love for Krishna, the enemy of the demon Mura. Although it is all-pervading, it tends to increase at every moment. Although it is important, it is devoid of pride. And although it is pure, it is always beset with duplicity. This is a verse from the Dan Kili Kamudi of Srila Rupa Goswami. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Let's see what this word beset. Does Google say? Covered or studded, okay. Beset. So basically, it's covered with duplicity. So pure means simple, straightforward, right? But it's covered with duplicity. I think we have briefly discussed all these points. It's all pervading, but yet increasing every moment. It's very important or pure or the topmost, yet devoid of pride, gaurava vivarjita. And it's pure, very straightforward, unalloyed love, yet duplicity. So if someone is saying that I have no ill intentions toward you, and and I really from my heart really love you, and I'm your servant, and this and that, but that person shows anger, right? That person shows some resentment. So that's beset with duplicity. So pure love sometimes may be set with duplicity, like a mother also. You can see the tinge of this in the mother as well. The mother really loves the child, but sometimes the same mother will speak harsh words or heavy words to the child for the child's welfare. Or sometimes the same mother will get angry with the child, or sometimes they'll say, I'm not talking to you, right? Like Radharani does. I'm not talking to you. I'm angry with you, and go to the man in the mood of sulkiness, right? And then the child is, no, mother, please talk to me. Why are you doing like this? Just to intensify the love. So it may seem to be duplicity, but it is actually not duplicity. It is just to intensify the finer sentiments of love. So devoid of pride, never expanding, beset with duplicity, but it's all pure. So these are the contradictions which we are talking about. So let's see. The next one. Kabir Prabhu, continue, please.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Kṛṣṇa, devotees, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. 132. Shei premar Shri Radhika Parama Aashraya, Shei premar ami hoi kebala Vishaya. Translation by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. Shri Radhika is the highest abode of that love, and I am its only object.
Daddy, I want
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, Prabhu. Okay.
Yes.
I just want to share. So, Aashraya means who has that love, and Vishaya means for whom. So the object. So Radharani is the highest abode. As we will see in the future some other verses, in the Madhurya Rash, all the other three Rashas are there. Like Daisho is there, Shokho is there, Bachula is there, and Madhurya Rash in there. And between the Madhurya Rash, there is one is Shokya and the one other is Parokya. So in the Parokya is the highest. If we remember that bhajan, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan, in the second last stanza, Jaya Jaya Ujjala Rasha, Sharva Rasha Shar, Parokya Bhave Jaha, Brajete Prachar. So Parokya Bhav is the highest form of rasa, and in all, among the Parokya devotees who does that, Radharani is the topmost, and nobody is top of her. So whatever different kind of reciprocation of love with Krishna, everything is within Radharani. So that's why she's the Aashraya. And Krishna is the Vishaya. Different devotees, so many ways love Krishna. Some in Daisha also, some with awe and reverence, some with just loving. Then in Shokya also in awe and reverence, like Shugriv, Bibhishan, Guhak. On the other way, the Uddhav Maharaj, they are all with awe and reverence. But in Siddham, Sudham, they have no awe reverence. They have, so in same in the Vatsalya also awe and reverence, like Devaki, Vasudev, they are loving Krishna as an awe and reverence. But in Nanda, Yashoda, there is no awe and reverence. So in all these things actually present in Radharani's, in Madhurya. So that's why she's the highest Aashraya. And Krishna is Vishaya, so all different kind of reciprocation. So that's why that's what it's saying here in this verse. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nice. Okay, so let's take the next verse. 133. Yes, Sampana Prabhuji, please.
Hare Krishna, text 133. Vishaya jatiya sukha amara asvada amahaite koti guna Aashraya alada. Translation by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I taste the bliss to which the object of love is entitled, but the pleasure of Radha, the abode of that love, is 10 million times greater. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, back.
Hare Krishna, thank you. We discussed a very similar verse previously as well in 126. Whatever pleasure I get from tasting my love for Radharani, she gets 10 million times more than me by her love. So that same Shatakoti or Koti Guna, sorry. Koti Guna means 10 million times more. Koti Koti. Let's say Koti Koti Pranam. Millions of times, basically. So Radharani is the pleasure of Radharani, the abode of that love, or basically Aashraya Vigraha, is much more than what Krishna experiences. Right. So again, back to Sri Radha Pranaya Mahima. So her experience of love or seva towards the Lord is 10 million times more than ultimately they are the same. Radha Krishna Ekamatra Dui Dehadhar. Ek Atma Dui Dehadhar. They are the same, but yet for enhancing the rasa, the pleasure, they are expanding into two, and then the two become one as Lord Chaitanya. Okay. 134. Vijaya Mataji, continue, please.
Yes, Prabhuji, I can read. Hare Krishna. Sorry, which one is that? 134. Okay, Aashraya Tatya Sukha Pate Mana Daya Atane Asvadite Nari Ki Kari Apaya. Translation. My mind races to taste the pleasure experienced by the abode, but I cannot taste it. Even by my best efforts, how may I taste it? Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you so much, Mataji. So even though the Lord tries to experience that pleasure, but cannot experience. Why? Because one has to get into that mood, isn't it? One has to get into that mood of Aashraya, of taking shelter of Radharani. One has the mood that I am the supreme enjoyer, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Of course, Krishna is. It's not any false pride or anything. But the point here is the love experienced by the devotee is more than the love experienced by the Lord. Now, the Lord cannot experience the love experienced by the devotee until he gets into the mood of devotee, and that's basically Lord Chaitanya. So, that's 134 verse. Therefore, he is called Chandavata. He came as the guise of a devotee, Chandavata. And ultimately, we are all discussing the confidential reasons. The chapter is entitled The Confidential Reasons for the Lord's Appearance. And Lord referring to Lord Chaitanya Mahāprabhu. Why? He wanted to experience the Radha Pranaya Mahima. But he cannot experience it just having the Krishna form. So, he has to take the form of Radharani. To completely empathize. It says like, sometimes in the material world also we see some reflection of it. Like there is the real stories. Like there are some millionaires who want to experience begging. They feel these beggars sometimes are so happy, they're so content. They get some $2, maybe they're so happy. Maybe someone gives $10 like a bonus, like a jackpot for them. Something like that. So they come, they meet, they have a club, and then they change their disguise as beggars and then go out and beg. And someone will share in this. Right? Of course, you're not trying to compare the two situations, but we're just trying to kind of understand through some examples of this world to understand the situation beyond this world. It's transcendental. This thing is pure transcendental. The Supreme Lord coming as a devotee. So the whole thing is to get into the mood of Radharani. Lord Chaitanya is basically on that Chandavata. Krishna coming in the mood of Radharani. Tapta Kanchana Gaurani. So took the complexion of Gaurani and became Gaurani. Okay, one more verse. 135. Anyone? There's a little purport here as well. So I think yes, Vipul Prabhu, you want to read?
Sure, Guruji. Hearts and devotees, all Guruji, Srila Prabhupada. Text 135. কবু যদি এই প্রেমার হইয়ে আশ্রয় তবে এই প্রেমানন্দের অনুভব হয়. Translation purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Vijaya. If sometime I can be the abode of that love, only then may I taste its joy. Purport. Vishaya and Aashraya are two very significant words relating to the reciprocation between Krishna and his devotees. The devotee is called the Aashraya, and his beloved Krishna is the Vishaya. Different ingredients are involved in exchange of love between the Aashraya and Vishaya, which are known as Vibhava, Anubhava, and Sattvika, and Vaibhichari. Vibhava is divided into two categories, Alamban and Uddipan. Alamban may be further divided into Aashraya and Vishaya. In the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna, Radharani is the Aashraya feature and Krishna the Vishaya. The transcendental as consciousness of the Lord tells him, I am Krishna and I experience pleasure as the Vishaya. The pleasure enjoyed by the Radharani, the Aashraya, is many times greater than the pleasure I feel. Therefore, to feel the pleasure of the Aashraya category, Lord Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here again you see the internal region of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where he came with the Radha's form. So here two things explain what is Vishaya and what is Aashraya. So Vishaya, as Prabhu said, is the object, and Aashraya who carries it and who has it. So this is the two things to the object. Like to the son, the parents showed their love. So this is reciprocation. So here is the Krishna and his devotees. Krishna is the Vishaya, devotee is the Aashraya, and the topmost devotee is the Radharani. And to taste it, Krishna came as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Radha's body features, complexion, to taste it. And there's different ingredients involved in the exchange of the love between the Aashraya and Vishaya. So these ingredients are Vibhava, Anubhava, Sattvika, and Vaibhichari. In the first ingredient, Vibhava, also divided into Alamban and Uddipan. And Alamban then again divides in Aashraya and Vishaya. So that is my understanding, Prabhuji. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very interesting. Let's discuss Krishna is Aashraya Vigraha. Radharani is Vishaya Vigraha. The pure devotees are also, Krishna is Vishaya Vigraha. The devotees are Aashraya. Vishaya means the object. Who is the object? Who is the supreme cause of all causes, the supreme enjoyer, the supreme master, the supreme Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Krishna. And to which all the desired offerable objects are offered is to the Vishaya Vigraha. So maybe we can hear, everyone can hear some lectures on this, and then we'll see if we can find some more tomorrow about what are these Vaibhava, Anubhava, Sattvika, Vichari, Alambana, Udipana. I don't have any much idea about these terms which are mentioned in the purport, but Prabhupada has mentioned it. Certainly they are important. So maybe if Krishna will, we will discuss those tomorrow. And let's meditate upon Radha, Śrī Radha Pranaya Mahima, and 10 million times more, ever expanding. Let's meditate upon saturation and satiation. There's complete satisfaction to the heart, but no saturation. Material life, fully saturated and never satisfied. Okay, so any other comments before we start for today? Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai. Śrī Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Śrī Vicharanaranda Nitya Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Gaur Thank you so much. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Hare Kṛṣṇa.